Good day, Lord and ladies, and welcome back to Wildermyth with the new story. I can never pronounce it, to be honest, not going to lie. We have just taken the altar. We had some romantic altercations going on, which was very nice. I just wanted to check the retirement age of my heroes. Like, for example, Joe is coming up to retirement age. When did he lose a leg? So yeah, Joe is actually pretty close to retiring. I had not realised that. That's worrisome. So let's grab everyone and let's go. We may not be able to stop the calamity from happening, unfortunately. We might actually just be in time. We are just in time by 3 days. Conflict. Roads, trails, fox paths. Wonder how many fox feet it takes to... Bo just raises an eyebrow. Joe just raises an eyebrow. Ah, Joe, I've been falling behind again, haven't I? Wasn't going to say anything, said the man. Been thinking, actually, about a book I read once. Memories of a woman named Zadra Omenway. In her youth, she was employed by tradesmen to sell their goods from town to town. And wherever she stopped, she'd seek out the local storyteller to hear the legends that had been passed down through the generations. Ended up putting a lot of them to print, a dozen or so tomes to go all together. Unfortunately, I was never able to track them all down. But well, it wasn't just the stories themselves that interested her. It was where they came from, how they began. You see, she discovered that many fragments of the same story scattered across distant lands. Form and flavour might vary according to the teller. Even the roles of villains and heroes may be reversed. But the common threads were stronger than the tangent variances. She thought that in each story there was probably some kernel of truth, some real piece of our past dressed up in the guise of a fable. It's hard to get at the truth though if everyone tells it differently. Sort of like the road apple fiasco. I mean, when I hear the way that Weisse tells it, and then I hear Dane's version. Don't get me started, she mangles it every time. They all break out into laughter. It's a few more hours before they reach Woodcob. But by then smoke chokes the air and all cause for laughter is forgotten. We find the town in shambles, fire raging, the corpses of Dravan and Mafagi mingled with townsfolk, but the fighting's not done. To arms! As they are surrounded by on all sides. That's a lot of enemies. Okay. Nothing particularly horrific. I just wanted to check one thing. Yeah, so we have her Dread Harvest. Just magical damage, gets HP back. Okay. So that's bonus damage plus potency. Shadow. Yeah, it doesn't... See, this is the thing I find confusing. Someone in the comment section said look at the harvest ability, which is fine. But the Shadow Leg doesn't actually give anything, from what I can see. Not being nasty. Because you get Dread Harvest, single action. So I don't think the leg actually does anything beyond being just special effects, or just being like, appearance-wise. Right, do we want to try and basically get out of the main square? Because we're surrounded on all sides, and it looks rightly grim. Do we want to try and fight our way inside a house to get a better defensive location? That might actually be worth it, to be honest. Because if we stay out in the open, we are going to get smashed from all sides. We haven't got a lot of defensible locations. Holding up here might be worth it. Narrow choke point. Yeast, not a ton of damage. Discus. Scalding Rain, perhaps. Yeah, Scalding Rain on the big guy. And then you two can get up here and basically start forming up. Because you've got longer reach. Yeah, I definitely think we need to fall back. Yeah, we still need to fall back, but there's just too many of them. Yeah, we need to pull back to a more defensible location. I'm thinking inside here. At least, can he reach? That's the question. Because he's in a tight situation as he is there. Right, so he needs to move up here. Get that done. Where's the... You're a massive pain. You need to fall back. That, we're going to jump into the shadow plane, which is fantastic. Let's infuse the wall. Get Discus up. Take you out, because range units are always a pain. And you can fall over here and get Guardian up. Yeah, you're going to get around and you've got to hit the wizard. I hope they fight each other. It will be a pain if they don't. Okay. You need to basically get out of dodge, because your health is not great. That was a bad dodge, to be honest. Not happy about that. Let's get rid of his cover that he's behind. Shred his armor. Put an arrow through his face. You're going to go here and deal with him. You're going to come up here and hold the line. Then you're going to come up here and hack him. There we go. She took a little damage, which I'm a bit unhappy with, but it's just how it is. Right, so she leveled up. Longer reach is always lovely. Hobble is not a bad one. All attacks or abilities. +1 range to range attacks. So long reach is just straight up better. Okay. Flames are quenched, smoke drifts away, few hours, few homes survived ruin. With time they'll be repaired, but there'll be no replacing the lives that were lost. At night, as night swoops in, the survivors make haste hasty efforts to collect their dead, arranging the corpses in the undertaker's shed. They leave the Durvan and Mofaki for tomorrow. Those without shelter find their way to Farmer Fallor's barn. Come along now, plenty of room for everybody. Hang on, Mum. We don't know this lady. 1 second, book, sorry. Doesn't mean we can't be mannerly. All we know, she's one of them who attacked us, says the farmer. Oh, we're not. If you'd let me explain. It's alright. I saw what you did. I'm Folar, and that's my obnoxious kid, Foren. We're happy to have you. Real happy, says the son. Could you tell us what happened here, how it started? If you don't mind waiting, more folk coming. Got to make sure they're made comfortable. Foren, show them where they can rest. Fine, mutters the son. More people have been led in. Some hay over here. Could put your head on a sack. Trough of water for drinking. Outhouses behind the barn, if you must. You still don't trust us, do you, Foren? That'll be like trusting a knife not to cut you, or a flame not to burn. Maybe you fought for us today, but who says you won't sell out tomorrow? Saw them with my own eyes, types just like you mingling with those lizard heads and bone contraptions. Pillaging and murdering while my mum risked her backside shepherding kids and old folks' safety. What we need is more people like her, not your lot. He doesn't notice his mum coming from behind. Oh, hey Mum. They were just getting settled. Sure, she says. Now, why don't you put that thing down and see what kind of supper you can rustle up from our stores? Her son sighs, puts down the pitchfork and walks away. Sorry, didn't mean to cause trouble. And you haven't, he's just riled up is all, says the older woman. When Mofagi appeared, he grabbed that pitchfork and tried to run and join the fight. I held him back, told him to guard the barn, mind the fires, didn't get too close. So you could risk your life instead, says Visar. I'm no hero, but if one of us had to. Anyway, though, that's how it began. Mofagi came crawling out of the field and surrounding Woodcop before most had risen from their beds. Probably knew the Durvan were headed this way and meant to get the drop on them. Saw the town for a convenient battleground. Don't think killing us was their reason for being here, but they sure didn't mind doing it, and the folks who were with them. The mercenaries, you saw them then. They'd be hard to miss, way they were hollering and directing. Almost like it was the Mofagi taking orders from the people. I can't be sure, but let's just say there wasn't much to separate them. No hesitancy, no remorse. Wish we'd gotten here sooner. We were sort of hoping to talk with these mercenaries. Doesn't sound like such a reasonable goal anymore. Look, we all know why we're doing it. This war drags on. It's more coin for them. Only one thing for us to do. Take the fight to both sides. When the new day dawns, they ready themselves for another round. Sort of feel I should try to talk you out of it, not that I... Oh Mum, did you hear? Hear what, kidlet? Just talked with Joanne. All those Durvan bodies they left out in the streets, been picked clean, nothing left but bones. Oh, coyotes probably, or I admit, all in one night. Well, you'd better be on your way. And if you ever find yourselves around here again, know that my barn's always open to you. Good luck, I guess, says the son. I don't disagree with why we're doing it, but do you think we're overreaching? Nah, we're just doing what needs doing, says Dane. Guess what happened. Guess what happened here proves that not staying out. That there's no staying out of it. It's just fighting people. And what about your friend, Grimly? If it comes to that, we'll do what we'll do what we need to do. It doesn't. It's not. It's sorry. So I just trying to read the sentence. My brain just sort of failed. If it comes to that, we'll do what we need to do. She pauses. Don't worry about me. There's still the question: which side do we take her out first? Do we flip a coin? Okay, so the deepest got improved help on him, which I'm not actually very happy about. That makes those guys really nasty. Okay, so we can recruit an extra follower. She needs to heal up, so we're just going to basically wait for a little bit. And this popped up anyway. I am going to stop them from getting another one of those guys. Extra health on him would actually be pretty bad as well, so yeah. And they have those invisible blokes on the field. Oh, it's so hard. Those guys are nasty. Right. Do we want to hire someone? Yeah, I think we need an extra person in the party, to be honest. Pick from the legacy, perhaps. Who do we want? I would like another warrior, because if we're not careful, Joel is going to retire, and then we won't have anyone that can actually do the job. If we take her... Vigilance is always nice. Battle Dancer, Shield, Sheer. Once every other turn, a swift action shreds a foe's armor with a weapon, which is always nice. Let's go with Vigilance. Grab her. Joe and Vesser went into town amid the hum of tension and talk. Woodcop always is boisterous. Ember Burst's just slain a monster. I've slain lots of monsters, mutters Visir. Nasty thing was trying to creep up from the swamp. Ormilian took care of it, though it was just something to watch. It was gross. It wasn't just a fight, it was a performance. I swear I saw her stop to look back at us and wink multiple times. Where is he now? Out by the barn, cultivating a fan club. Anyway, a few days rest, some potent brew, and I'll be at the top of my game again. The woman turns to look at the two veteran heroes. They're at Woodcop then. Well, just for one. Not at the moment anymore. Ormilian looks up. I hadn't wanted to come to this. It sounds like you've got quite a knack for taking them down, though. We're looking for that. We. Joe Shovelbridge, Fellowship of the Quest. I've heard of you, she says. Emiliana Emberburst. We've heard of you too. Okay. The dying day in winter is strangely nice. Give anything to see you smile right now, says Joe. But on the horn of the Grey Mountains, sun lasts longer than anywhere else. On what the lady of that place gathers her forgotten power. You are a trudger, Captain Jovhen. Hmm? Oh, I'm I'll admit I'm not in love with the high places. It's a spooky little flock you keep around here. Keep around you, says the mercenary. To perch where the light never leaves your shoulder, you must rise over trees, over hills, over the tallest piers. These are them who've dared it. Chosen ones who deserve and desire my favour. You may someday see that I'm shrewd in my selections. My queen. When what I want to say, Voltaire, the coin is enough. I don't need convincing. Call yourself Empress, I'll echo it as loud as you like. Yet, I am unsatisfied, says the woman. I am in fact ruffled. Your tone, Captain Joverhen, is rather pink. The silver lands glow in light of late day. High, cold air streams ripple their clothes. You may mistake me for a strump, a merely mountain missy. Might say, you may mistake me for a strimp, a merely mountain miser, but stand there, we're right on the edge. Queen Voltaire, let us prepare a feast and a combat just as before. No, Bracan. If the hero Joverhen will be my captain, then he must also be my witness. And so saying, she grims her mouth, breathes into her full frame, and around her rises a burning ring of wind, a constellated stone of light. Thrumming air, bitter on the tongue, biting on her bone. Witness it. The fact of anything's form begins to wobble. A feathered sound of wings humming. The vulture queen rises from the cindery crust of her skin. And her scream bloodies creation. As she screeches, the whip sky snarls. The sun dies. Hope wanders away, no longer at home here. This groan of a world, this blister of a star. But the mercenary steps back. But you can simply do that? You see now, says the entity. There's only the smallest falter in her scrawling vulture voice, undetectable save by one who served her first. With or without you, I will have this land, my homeland. My right is to all that lives and dies upon it, and I will have it all back. Or if I wished, I would douse the very torch of existence and fallow every field forever. And that is now proven, my queen. So mercy upon them, please. Mercy, do you ask for? I beg it. Jealous-looking son. It's okay. You seem to be okay, says Joe. Pitiable things, mutters the entity. Mercy then I grant you. Stately she descends down the favoured path. Wind finds Wind finds rare brine on Captain Joverhen's cheeks, and the broken light is allowed to mend itself. My queen. The entity staggers away from view. I wish you had held back. Revealing your true countenance is more than enough. Sharing your treasury, exhibiting your might of your masked faithful. It was enough for the other captain. This one wanted more. You do, of course, know better than I, says the servant. Bracken helps her embrittled queen stand. Good, anyway, it's good. This is how faith is won, Bracken. Forgive me, Queen Voltaire, but it's not how my faith. Fet's a ferret sack. I'll only rest in my chamber for a time, and be exactly as I was. Exactly as you were, mutters the servant, before glancing behind herself. Ill luck for our enemies, that's how I'll think of it. I'll sleep fine, says Duane. A wakeful night lasts long past the hallow of the pot. Okay. So we picked up another sword hand. What do I request? Clear all hostile tars, assault the stronghold. Okay. So first things first. Why do we need to build a bridge for everybody here? This is the hard part now. Who do we take? We don't need to take her, to be honest. I mean, do we want to try doing the old trick? Which is... that group basically goes... and let's see if we can do... no, they've basically stopped that. There used to be a trick where you could send multiple scouting parties to the same location to get everyone on the board, and then wait for a counterattack. Doesn't look like that's going to be a case this time. Instead, we'll get her to come down here and start working on the bridge. Yeah. Okay. So he's gonna knock. They're gonna knock that down. We're gonna get the bridge set up here. The question is, do we build a bridge from here to here? Because if we build a bridge from here, and then we build a bridge here, it means we'll rapidly manage to get around this location. Otherwise, we're gonna have to take a long detour to get to this corner of the map. Though, to be honest, judging from the angle of the world map, because it's always round, this area is not going to be as important. This area probably will be, so building a bridge is fine. Okay. So let's go with this group. Right, anchors. The party goes through an elder wood. Okay, I've got one favourite. Fruit. Says Joe. Raspberries, no question. Best berry out there, says Dwayne. Not questioning, says Joe. Okay, my turn. Favourite thing to fight. That's like asking my favourite rash, says Joe. Least favourite, then. Might have to be more faggy. Is that because we're over? Is that because they're over the next hill? She counters. I can never quite tell if they're alive or not. It's distracting. One of these days, it's going to mess with my aim. And here I am making a career out of them. They continue trudging on. As old as I am getting, sometimes I wonder if it's not too late to start over somewhere. I wouldn't vote. Realistically, it reeks of abandonment. Well, we appreciate that. What about you? What keeps you here? Says Joe. Well, faggy need to be stopped. Simple as that. Honestly, means I don't have to be polite. Wait. I just want to check something. Character sheet. Relationships. Who is Joe sweet on? Okay, so basically Joe is sweet on Dwayne. Okay, that's fine. Dane? Let's go with that one. So many things, really. Those toned arms, that dazzling smile, the way you whisper my name before a fight. Sus. Grimly's going to hear. Plus, what kind of woman would I be if I left you to get picked up by some tarty mafaggy? You know I can't resist a good ribcage. Dane and Joe gain temporary damage and potency. Okay, standard square. If we can smack them down quickly before they raise the alarm, that would be good. Let's see. Barrage is actually a fairly good one against multiple targets, if I recall. Especially for getting rid of... Well, it doesn't strip armor, that's true. I'd forgotten that. Discus should help, though. Unfortunately, it's going to be one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't things, because it appears that we're going to be out of actions. So she needs to basically... Yeah, we can't get the one in the back, so it's going to be in the one in the front that takes it. We got a crit hit though, that's fantastic. So that means we can get another attack off. And you can push up. Very fortunate that I was worried for a second. I thought we were going to have the alarm rung relatively early, which is always a problem. I try and like keeping the alarm as quiet as possible for as long as possible. Right, we're all stacked up. Okay, let's go. With what enemies we know are left, they're probably going to be on this side of the map. Yeah, there's one there. Gotta go and set her up. We have to be careful though, because the one that breathes fire is around, and that guy is a pain. Well, let's first of all put an arrow through your faceplate. Yeah, I knew there was one up there. Barrage isn't going to reach, so you guys need to get to cover. Get that going. Nothing to be done, okay. Yeah, that was what I was worried about, this one turning up. The acid one is annoying, but the trap worked and we managed to keep it pinned. The fire thing is the thing I'm really worried about though. They have a nasty range attack, and there's so many things around us that will burn. But we did manage to put them down. Okay. Got a cloak that gives warding, which is basically now, after the update, just extra HP. So who do you want to give it to, Joe or to Dwayne? I'm probably going to give it to her, to be honest. Because she doesn't have any shield, so she doesn't have a lot of armor, so temp HP is always great. The Mophagia are massed apart, battles led them down a boulderous roam where grey grass matches the cloud colour. Someone doing dragon pictures? Here, Melisi. Old Melisi Pool, the saddle lady. Perfect. So what's your favourite monster? Oh, I'd say Wildermyth. Like the idea of a giant moth drawn to listen to great poetry. Got to be a classic, like a unicorn with beautiful dark-haired woman on its back. Eyes mystical and deep, she sings in a forest tongue. Those answers are fine, but some of us will always love a dragon. A dragon, such a romantic figure, really. That it surprises me neither of you said it. I have always looked at clouds and shaped dragons from them. Friglid and Axemanaf, mighty Griffalax of Neverflare. Can't wait until we are around a fire. The stories were sore. Yeah, but we fought a dragon in a previous campaign and those guys were no joke. Okay, so they're building that up. So we can claim the location. Let's grab the location for the item. What did we get? Some fabric. And we got more warding. Okay. When is she going to retire? That's the question. She's 43 and she retires at 60. So she's got a bit of a run on her. So she'll probably be to the last chapter of the game. So she's going to get that. She's building that up. We need to get down here. Yeah, let's get down here. Because we can help her build the bridge across the river. Right. Okay, that's done. Bridge is finished. Now, we haven't got enough to split the party to go down here, unfortunately. To be honest, there's going to be a calamity coming across here. I'm going to send the party down here to scout. Yeah, like he's going to retire this. He's going to retire, so actually I do need to take her along to start giving her some training. It's done. On the other hand, what do we want to do? Everything's been bridged up here. Do we want to put a bridge in here? That means going across dangerous territory. Okay. Another calamity is incoming, as well as an incursion. What I will get him to do, though, is that I will get you to prepare defences on this line. It will take you some time. Actually, counter job. Prepare defences. Tier 2 defences. There we go. And you guys are going to clear out this place. Which is not great. If there's going to be an incursion, it will either come from up here or from here, which is going to be a pain, because if it comes from here, it will come. We can deal with it relatively quickly. If it comes from here, we're going to have to sprint all the way back around to get up, which is going to be problematic. That's for next time. I've been Cornish-knight. This has been Wildermyth, the new story, and I will see you all again next time. Goodbye, folks.